one specific culture that speaks about this in a really good way. It's a in a specific method is something that I really gravitate towards because I feel like it explains everything that I just explained in a really simple form, and that is in Kashmir Shaivism. So Kashmir Shaivism is a non-dualistic school of thought also, and they talk about these methods called the upayas. It's the 3+1 approach, and it's really interesting why they call it the 3+1 instead of the four, and I'll explain that why. So the first upaya is anavopaya, and that's the beginner's path where it focuses on physical practices like postures, breath control, meditation, until you reach a state of samadhi. So it's the beginner's path. That's what they talk about with anavopaya. They talk about a more advanced path, which is shaktopaya, which is all about focusing your willpower and your energy on transcending ordinary consciousness. So it's bringing the mind to kind of transcend, but you have to be at a certain level of discipline to be able to do that. That's why they say Anavopaya is more the beginner's path, because you have to focus on breath control practices, postures, meditation to tap into the more subtle realms. And when you get into the more subtle realms, you can practice more Shaktopaya. And then when you get to even more advanced levels, like the highest level, which is Shambhavopaya, that's more focusing directly on your connection with the divine. It's just boom, you just settle into it, and that's it. But again, they're all levels to reaching that state. The interesting one is Anupaya, which is the hardest level because it's impossible to achieve, because it's a method of no method, and it involves effortless, spontaneous recognition of the true nature of who you are. And that's the experience that I explained that I experienced. I was not meditating before that. I was not doing anything. I just got blessed with this experience of grace and didn't do anything whatsoever. I could never try to get it. And that's the whole thing about Anupaya, is it's the hardest level, but the hardest level, and what it means by that, it's because it's impossible to achieve. You can't go after it. It comes by sheer luck. Again, someone's walking down the street and poof, all of a sudden, an enlightened experience. And but the reason they call it the hardest level is because of the integration process. Again, all these other three are all you're developing along the way, and by the time you get to the highest level, you've already embodied these certain aspects. Whereas Anupaya, just there you go, you've had the supreme insight. Now go back to your normal everyday life and try and get on with things. It's really hard.